Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this week's magical message. I pray that you all have been doing wonderfully. I pray that your week has gotten off to a wonderful start. And whenever you're listening to this reading, I pray that you are in a space where you are open and you are ready to receive the abundance that you so truly deserve. This week, we start off with an energy of really needing to move with assertiveness, with your confidence, needing to move in a space where you are trusting yourself. And even if it's trusting yourself and saying, okay, I need to reflect and kind of go inward, and then I need to move, right? Maybe not that first thing that you think of, that may not be the thing to do, but use your wisdom this week. Okay, this is going to be very, very important because the stakes are very high. And at the same time, the ability to create is even higher. So, moving forward, we're going to get into the beginning of this week. And the beginning of this week really offers us the opportunity and really asks that we reflect, that we take the time to get quiet, to do whatever practices that we do that allow us to ground ourselves and really be in a supportive space of self-reflection and being open to whatever the truth is, right? And so this week you can expect to see some truths just magically falling out and clarity and doors beginning to open, things beginning to click that you had questions about. And so, that's on the high side. On the more shadow aspect of it, what you can expect to experience during the beginning of this week if you are not taking that time. You just come up against a lot of obstacles. You can kind of feel a little bit like you just pinging around, right? Against all these different obstacles. Things just kind of happening one after another. You're just kind of moving. You might even kind of feel like you're just here. You know what I mean? You're just there. You're just floating about and things are just kind of happening to you. And if you find that you're in this space, then this energy during this week, during the beginning of the week, is really asking that you be in a space of forgiveness for yourself, for everything that you perceive, right? Because again, it is perception. And it's not to say that what you perceive holds no value or it's not real. But it is to say that you have the power to shift what you're experiencing. And so the beginning of this week is saying, even in the midst of what you might experience, if you're on the shadow and especially to be obstacles, make sure that you are taking the time to get quiet. Spend time with yourself, just you, and really get quiet and really get on or in a space where you are vibrating with yourself and there is total peace. There is total acceptance. And that can come in a number of ways, right? You could meditate, you could do something artsy, you could dance, you could sing, you could make music, you could write, you could cook, you could do any number of things, but it's whatever calls to you, right? Whatever is really the most valuable to you, whatever feeds you, whatever you need right now, right? The beginning of the week is saying get quiet so you know what these things are. And then you can begin to give these things to yourself. So there's a really amazing power in the beginning of this week that really allows us to take charge and at the same time in that taking charge, it's not necessarily you go out and you make it happen, right? Like the the overview of the week talked about the assertiveness and the confidence, but it's not that in that you're going out and making it happen, right? This is not about a hustle. This is not about forcing anything. In fact, if you find yourself doing those things, you're going to find yourself just coming across obstacles. Allow yourself to flow, but allow yourself to flow inwardly, right? And have the confidence in that space to trust you and to trust what comes out of that space. Right? This is going to be a beautiful time for healing and for transformation. The energies are high this week for you to be able to transform any pain, any wounds of any kind, right? For you to transform spaces that held you back in whatever way, covered you up, suppressed you. This is a beautiful week to be able to, if you're choosing to harness the energy, to be able to really overcome those things. So that's the beginning of the week. And then we get into the middle of the week with the garden. And the garden tells us that it is important that not only during this phase we mind our own business, right? Which is why we're inward, right? Which is why we are moving forward with confidence and with power and with assertiveness from an internal space, right? Moving from that space powerfully. Not only are we doing that, but we are also taking the time to really get into that gratitude, to really get into recognizing the abundance and the goodness that is in our lives. And all of the things and the little parts and pieces that we don't even pay attention to most times, right? That really cause us to have a greater appreciation for everything, right? And being in this space will affirm whatever energies it is that you have chosen to manifest in your intentions. Last week we talked about being intentional. And so during the middle of the week, this energy we are being asked to harness is affirming and kind of like cementing. Okay. This is going to take us to the next level in our lives and in the experiences that we have, more importantly, right? And when you begin to take charge of how you choose to experience the things that are going on around you, then you tap into a greater power that allows you to transform the reality that is in front of you. Okay, and so then we get into this higher thought and this higher science around manifestation, right, and transmutation. This week is a powerful and amazing time to work with those energies. But it will require you being inward, because if not, you will be lost. There will be things happening. You have no idea they're even coming, right? You may be getting hit left and right. And so if you find yourself in those experiences, once again, it's time for you to forgive so that you can go inward, so that you can really make peace with those things. And then we end the week with Miss Caroline. And she really speaks to the power of just divine happening. That there are things that happen simply because that is the energy that's been created, and it is what it is. And so at the end of this week, you're going to find yourself experiencing moments and things that they are literally just product of the energy that has been created. Excuse me. Always on baby duty. But yeah, so you will be experiencing the product of the energy that's been being created, that has been being harnessed. So what you will experience at the end of the week is a direct reflection of what it is that you've harnessed, right? And whatever that is, right? Because everything is not always going to be the greatest thing, right? It's going to be moments where you miss this or you miss that, and you may see reflections of that during the end of this week. But it's also asking that we take the initiative, we have the courage, and we trust ourselves enough and the energies that we create, right? So that we can go in and we can say, okay, regardless of whether this is positive or what we might consider a negative thing, we're going to transmute that, and we're going to accept it, right? If it's a positive thing. But if it's something that you might consider more of a negative thing, something you don't desire to take place, right? Or just the way that it happened, or whatever it is, right? It doesn't have to be something major. But whatever it is, we're asked to flow in a way where we're able to see it from a different perspective and do something different with it, not digest it in a way that causes our energy to go down, whether it's sadness or anger or frustration or just embarrassment, whatever it is. Allow yourself to trust that whatever this is, it's just asking you to vibrate around whatever that thing is just a little bit higher. And even though it may not feel as simple as that, it is that simple, right? And that's part of that truth about, kind of just, it is what it is. There are some things that are simple, and the thing that gets in the way that stops us from just being willing to do just what's simple is our minds and our emotions and the freak out that happens when they're not in a balanced space, regardless of what the reason is, right? So that's why this week is important to go inward, to be inward. And from that space, you're going to thrive. You're going to see beautiful things begin to take place. And you're going to notice that beautiful things have been taking place, which is going to only strengthen that trust and that faith that you have not only in yourself, but in the universe that reflects you. And so if you're using the energies of this week properly, this is going to be a magical and a powerful time for you to really step into some new spaces. By the end of the week, by the time you move into the next week, you're going to have opportunities coming for you to move different, to do things you hadn't done before, to perfect some things that you've been working on. There are going to be all kinds of opportunities coming. And if you're in a space where you are in sync with you, where you are in sync with flow, right? And you're not allowing any little thing to move you off your square, right? Remember the beginning or the overview of the week talked about that confidence, that assertiveness, that moving in that powerful space, be in that energy so that you can really harness the full potential of this week. Okay. And so that is going to be the reading for this week. I pray that you will receive this with love and with gratitude and with grace. And I pray that in whatever experiences you're having, I pray that you really feel powerful. I pray that you really trust yourself. And even in the spaces that you don't really know your way around, right? You're not really sure what to do. Maybe you're not even sure what's going on. You trust that when you connect with you and you just mind your business, right? Connect with you and allow for things to fall into place. The energies are naturally going to bring you everything that you need. So don't force it. Don't fight it. If it's not working, don't push it. Just allow yourself to flow this week and you'll experience the magic. So I just want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for subscribing, for following, for commenting, for the love, for the support. If you want to reach out, my email will be down below. Definitely, I love to hear back from you. I love to hear what you all think, and just your experiences throughout the week. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. I look forward to speaking again next week. And yeah, so until then, bye.